Hello there, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be 3 themes together because there's a couple that are quite small, so I'm just going to stick them all together. But mainly it's going to be about creators. So these are Lego sets that are retiring in 2025. So the first one is a creator one, but it's actually retiring in July 2025, so not December. Okay. So the first one is 31139 Cozy House, $54.99. It's got 3 unique figures valued at around £4. It's got an annual increase of 3%. On Amazon it's selling between £52 and £130. On eBay it's sold for £55. On Bricklink it's valued at £46 and it's sold 3,774 sets. So like I said before, these are from December now. Next one is 31058, the Mighty Dinosaurs, $12.99. It's got an expected annual increase of 3%. On Amazon it's being sold for between £14 and £25. On eBay it's sold for £23. Bricklink it's valued at £11. And it sold 11,654 sets. Next one is 31109, the pirate ship, $114.99. It's got 4 figures, 3 of them unique, valued at around £9. Now it's also got a 3% annual increase with an expected good investment. Amazon is being sold for between £107 and £191. On eBay it's sold for £116. On Bricklink it's valued at £98 and it's sold £17,063. Obviously that's a good example where the set is £114.99 and it's sold on eBay for £116. So it's like, oh well, that's only a £1 increase, but obviously the person that bought it should have been able to buy it for 20%, 30%, hopefully more than that if he or he or she does their homework and finds ways of getting money off, gift cards and vouchers and top cash back and credit cards with points and whatever it is that you're going to use to get money off. So even though the person sold it for 116, if they got it for 90 or whatever it is, then they're still making a profit. It's only a small profit, but it hasn't retired yet, so it's still money in their pocket if they, that's what we're out trying to do, isn't it? Next one, 31129, the Majestic Tiger, $44.99. That's also got an expected annual increase of 3%. Amazon, it's being sold for between £45 and £63. On eBay, it's sold for £45, which obviously is MSRP. Bricklink is valued at £36, and they've sold 7,492 sets. Next one is 31137, the Adorable Dogs, $24.99. That's got a 3% annual increase. On Amazon, it's being sold for between £25 and £45. On eBay, it's sold for £27, and Bricklink is valued at £21. It's sold 2,951 sets. Next one is 31142, the Space Roller Coaster, $94.99. I've actually got 3 of those. 6 figures, 5 unique, valued at £15, with an expected annual increase of 3%. On Amazon, it's being sold for between £81 and £166. On eBay, it's sold for £84. Bricklink is valued at £78, and they've sold 2,575 sets. Next one is 31145, the Red Dragon, $8.99. 3% annual increase. On Amazon, it's being sold for between £9 and £19, and on eBay, it's sold for £21. So there you go, see, 3 times. Bricklink, valued at £8, it's sold 3,151 sets. Next one is 31153, the Modern Beach House, $89.99. It's got 2 unique figures valued at £4 with a 3% annual increase. On Amazon, it's being sold for between £90 and £165. On eBay, sold for £90, and Bricklink is valued at £70. It's sold 561 sets. Next one is 31154, the Forest Animals Red Fox, $44.99. That's got an annual increase of 3% with an expected good investment. On Amazon, I could only find one for sale, and it's being sold for the MSRP. Obviously, when there's only one, I think people think it's going to be a good set, so they're kind of stashing it away and waiting for it to increase and then bring it back out again when it's twice the value, and then make some more money. On eBay, it's sold for 65. Bricklink is valued at 49. There again, Bricklink's valued it more than MSRP already, so that's a good indication. And it sold 1,732 sets. Next one is 31155, the hamster wheel, $24.99. That's got a 3% annual increase. On Amazon, it's being sold for between £29 and £45. On eBay, it's sold for 30, and Bricklink is valued at 23. It sold 670 sets. Next one is 31156, the tropical ukulele, $24.99. That's got a 3% annual increase with an expected good investment. On Amazon, it's being sold for between £32 and £50. On eBay, it's sold for 28, and Bricklink, it's valued at 27. There again, higher already. And it sold 2,121 sets. Next one is 31158, the sea animals, $24.99. 3% annual increase. On Amazon, it's being sold for between £28 and £41. On eBay, it's sold for 25, and on Bricklink, it's valued at 25. And it's sold 966 sets. Next one is 40220, the London bus, which was $8.49, or it was also a promo gift with purchase as well. On Amazon, it's being sold for between £17 and £33, and on eBay, it's sold for £23. So these little sets, they could be, a nice little earner, but obviously a small earner. You just got to have a hell of a lot of them. Bricklink values it at £13.50. So there again, another, increase already. And that one sold or was given away 15,532. Next one is 40517, the Vespa, $8.99, the little red one, not the big blue one. That's expected annual increase of 9%. On Amazon, it's already being sold for between £16 and £30, and on eBay, it's sold for £19.43. Bricklink is valued at £12.50. Again, all higher than expected already, and it hasn't retired yet. 9,586 sets sold. Next one is 40650, the Land Rover Classic Defender, $13.49. That's got one unique figure valued at £4. That's also got a 9% expected annual increase. On Amazon, it's being sold for between £20 and £35. On eBay, it's sold for £24. Bricklink is valued at £17 and sold 7,120 sets. And the last one for Creator is 40747, the Daffodils, $12.99. That's got an expected annual increase of 5%. On Amazon, it's being sold for between £14 and £20. On eBay, it's sold for 21. On Bricklink, it's valued at 11, and it's sold 4,192 sets. Now, the next theme is Despicably Me. Now, I don't know anything about this theme, as in, I don't watch it because I'm not a kid, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing the names right or anything like that. So, next one is 75580, the Minions and Banana Car, $19.99. It's got 4 unique figures valued at £25, with an expected annual increase of 3%. On Amazon, it's being sold for between £22 and £36. On eBay, it's sold for 26, and Bricklink is valued at 18. It's sold 916 sets. Next one is 75581, the Minions Music Party Bus, $34.99. That's also got 4 unique figures valued at £21, with an annual increase of 3%. On Amazon, it's being sold for between £30 and £71. On eBay, it's sold for 35, and Bricklink is valued at 30. It sold 484 sets. Next one is 75582, the Brick Built Gru and Minions, $49.99. That's got a 3% annual increase. On Amazon, it's being sold for between £50 and £90. On eBay, it's sold for 46, which is obviously less than MSRP. And on Bricklink is valued at 36. It sold 793 sets. And the last one for Despicably Me is 75583. You got the Minions and Gru Family Mansion, 89.99. It's got 9 unique figures valued at £52, which isn't bad. A 3% annual increase with an expected good investment. On Amazon, it's being sold for between £85 and £164. On eBay, it's sold for £84, which is below MSRP, and Bricklink is valued at £74, where it's sold 694 sets. And another little theme I'm sticking on the end of it is Wicked. Now, it's another one that I've never seen, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing the names correctly. The first one is 75681, so it's Glinda, Elphaba and Nessaros at Shizuni, £24.99. 3 unique figures valued at £15. 6% annual increase. Amazon, it's being sold for between £25 and £40. On eBay, it's sold for £33, and Bricklink is valued at £21, and it's sold 167 sets. Next one is 75682, the Elphaba and Glinda figures, £49.99. That's got a 6% annual increase with an expected good investment. On Amazon, it's being sold for between £45 and £70. On eBay, it's sold for £55, and Bricklink is valued at £40, and that's sold 361 sets. And the last one, I think, for Wicked, is 75683, the Glinda and Elphaba Dormitory, £59.99. It's got 2 unique figures valued at £13. That's also got an annual increase of 6%. On Amazon, it's being sold for between £59 and £105. On eBay, it's sold for £60, and Bricklink is valued at £48, and it's sold 214 sets. My next video will be Wednesday and Speed Champions, probably 1 or 2 other themes as well. At the moment, they're all the little bitty themes, so I'm having to stick them all together to make a video. In case you're wondering, like if you're one of these people that's a new person that started to watch it and wondering where I get the figures from, like I said, I'm keep having to do this spiel about where I get the figures from and all that kind of thing. So I'm trying to avoid doing that for my regular subscribers. So if you need to find out what it is, go back and watch one of my earlier videos and it'll explain where I get the information and all that kind of thing. So yeah, please watch my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Please comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you again. Thanks, bye.